Welcome to the first episode of the Checkmate theory, where we talk about lifestyle, business, and making moves. I'm here today with the CEO of Advanced Tailored Solutions. My suit's tailored by Boss. My business is tailored by my brother, Rizwan Dookanwala. Ex-banker, property manager, and now tailors businesses for a successful future. If you're stuck in your business, he's the man to call. Because you pretty much fix about anything, don't you?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on the show, by the way.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure.
Cool, my brother. Let's get started.
Cool. So Rizwan, tell us more about yourself.
So with myself, I go back, when it comes to business, I've been in business since about year 11 in school. So it started from just selling sweets. Then it went to selling chocolates, other candy bars. Then it came to college time when I was selling phones. Then I was selling SIM cards. If anyone remembers the Basher SIM cards. And then from there, it moved into perfumes.
Wow.
From there, it went into real estate, helping other people to manage their portfolio.
That's a strong track record.
And now I'm helping other businesses because I got to a point where every single week I'd have people calling me saying, Rizwan, can you come and help with this? Can you come and help with that?
Yep.
And I realized that, why don't I monetize this?
Yep.
So for about 3-4 years, I was doing that for free. But I realized because it's taken so much of my time, if I start monetizing it, the people are going to actually get a better experience from me because they're going to get more of my time.
Yep.
But at the same time, they're going to actually value it more.
Yep.
So something that I might mention to them, they may do it even more, and it's more likely for them to actually execute on it better because of the fact that they're paying for a service.
No, that's brilliant. Like, first time we met was going to a friend's fitness networking collab. So if you lot don't know, Zil collab, run by SA Healthy Gains on Insta. Boom. That day,
Incredible individual.
literally, that day everyone was looking for lists, packed out event, networking / gymming, you see the gains. But literally, it was by luck how we met. Like,
Definitely.
all the cars were full up. I needed the lift last minute because I made my decision to go last minute. And then literally, SA Health Gains connected me with you, alhamdulillah. And then, boom, I get a phone call. Yo, bro, I'm outside. Where are you? So I open my door. I see this white, fresh BMW pull up in front of my house, red interior. I was thinking, who's this? I get in the car and I see brother Rizwan. And yeah, literally from the first convo we had, it was beneficial. Up until today. And we've known each other for a couple of months now. And each conversation we have is jam-packed with value and how I can better myself and my business.
Definitely.
And even in our circle, we have helped so many people. And I've seen the change from their business. From them planting the seed, literally, he waters the plant. Waters it and sees it grow. And that's really good, man. We all thank you, man. 100%.
It's appreciated. And just to backtrack on the car point, the car's me and my wife's.
Okay.
But at the same time, I drive a Honda Civic, a little crappy banger, because at the end of the day, I realized that materialistic things, they are not the be all and end all.
No, it doesn't.
I just got to clarify at the end of the day, to be 100% integrity and honest.
That's brilliant. You see, that's pure humbleness in its best form. You've got a lot of assets, mashallah.
Okay.
Praise be to God. But if I was walking past you in the street, I wouldn't know. And I feel like that's a really good trait about you.
It's important. I feel like it's important in all aspects because the last thing you want is people knocking on your door for the wrong reasons.
Absolutely.
And the last thing you want is people liking you because you've got something.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So people should like you for the value that you're going to share to them, for how you may be able to help them, cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it shouldn't be necessarily just because this person's got X or Y or Z. At the end of the day, that doesn't make
a lot in this day and age.
For sure.
And that's a massive red flag. If you see that, boom, just close the tab and tell them cut real fast. Because they're not a friend. All they'll bring is doom to your life. So, Rizwan, tell us a bit more about the banking industry and how that came about.
So I've been in banking since I came into college. So it was about 10 years ago. I've been in the financial industry for about 10 years,
wow.
helping businesses in the sense of just being in a call center, just answering the phones like a normal individual. Then I went to sales and complaints.
Yep.
And then within that, I started helping to do certain business analyst tasks without having the title of a business analyst.
Okay.
So what I would do is there would be certain projects, there would be certain times when I could potentially help increase the business and improve it to make it a little bit better.
Yep.
And so I'd be able to give him my 2 pence and then see it through to fruition as well. So that's where it started from there. Then, yeah, and then the reason why I stay in the financial services industry is because it's so important to understand about money and realize that at the end of the day, whether you've got money or not is irrelevant. But if you don't understand it, when you do have money, you'll be screwed. So that's why I feel like it's really important.
That's so accurate. Thank you so much for that. And you lot, listen up, because you'll be dropping keys. Keys that you can use straight away. Everything that Rizwan will tell you today, you can incorporate in your life right now. So get pen to paper and start jotting down your notes, because this is going to be a wild ride. So Rizwan, so is that how you shaped your analyst career then?
So originally that was just an insight. I just managed to have a few contacts, and I managed to actually speak to a couple of business analysts at that time.
Okay.
But I still didn't know that that's what I wanted to do long term.
All right.
So then I went into transitioning into an estate agent. And in that estate agent, yes, I was sales and lettings negotiator, but at the same time, I was always looking at ways to improve the business.
Yep.
And I realized that slowly over time, over these years, is that I just genuinely love helping businesses to move forward. And because I genuinely love it, it doesn't feel like work to me.
Yeah.
And from all the personal development that I do, and everyone else that I see who is successful that talks about success, they all say in order to achieve financial freedom and in order to actually achieve what you want to achieve, you need to enjoy what you do. And so I realized that if I enjoy helping businesses, I don't need to have necessarily a multi-million dollar business for me to be able to help another business to get to 6 figures. And the reason why I thought that, is because of the fact that when you look at the Olympic champion and you look at all their different trainers, at the end of the day, the trainers weren't necessarily Olympic champions before.
Okay.
But they are still able to help these people to become Olympic champions. And why? Because they analyze everything. They might not have done it themselves necessarily in that particular order. They may have trained before, but they may have never become an Olympic champion. But they're still able to help someone to become that because they enjoy the analysis part, they enjoy the theory, they enjoy actually testing different parts of the practical parts of business and then putting everything together. So that's where I feel that these businesses can benefit. And alhamdulillah, right now I've got 17 clients.
That's actually great, because when I met you, how many clients did you have?
I think I was on 4.
And literally you've grown so fast.
Yeah, since February.
So what's it like for your client base? Like how would they feel from the first time meeting you, and how will their business develop towards the end and the final product when they're ready to stand on their own 2 feet with all the knowledge that you told them and build something great without you always being there? But dealing with you, every time I need help, or I'm stuck on something, or I need a second person to talk to get a different viewpoint, like you're just a phone call away, innit?
For sure.
I'll just give them a phone call, say, Riz, I'm stuck at this, what do you think I should do? I don't ask you, what shall I do? What do you think I should do? Because getting a second perspective on things
definitely helps.
It definitely helps.
I need it myself.
Yep. Literally, if like decision making is a skill, a big skill, and if you lack confidence in your own decisions, then you're just going to go around in circles, and you're not going to move forward. So that's what I like. Literally, when I start, give you a call. But what would it be for most of your clients?
So for most of my clients, well, half of my clients are startups, half of them are fully fledged businesses. So I've been privy to, and I've been lucky to be able to work alongside a lot of FTSE 500 companies.
Yeah.
But I find more fun working in the small and medium businesses.
Yeah.
Because you have more control over the entirety of the business itself. Yeah. And so the process works where first I just have an initial consultation over the phone, get to know the person, see if I actually want to work with them or not. Because the reality is I need to be able to work with someone who's willing to be coachable, willing to think that not only they can do the work, but also that they can take advice from other people. Because the reality is a lot of business owners, unfortunately, they think they always know best.
100%.
The reality
I've seen that with myself. Like when I'm starting a business, I see my business is like my baby, and all the effort I've raised to bringing it up, nurturing it, working on different aspects, you're growing like you're growing like a baby, a business.
For sure.
You got to take time. You got to do your research, and you really need to know what you're doing.
For sure.
And with going on that basis, like you can't rush into it.
For sure.
You know what I mean? You're not going to teach a baby how to talk or ABCs when it's like a month old.
For sure.
So you take your time, plant the seeds, boom, watch it grow, water the plant, Boom. Then you get to the ABC 1, 2, 3 stage, yeah?
Definitely.
And then from there, you can add numerical figures. But I feel like financial literacy is really important.
It is.
And you need to know that from the get-go.
100%.
From the start.
And the reality is, like, I remember how you mentioned just now that you basically go through a process and you shouldn't really rush it.
No way.
But at the same time, I feel like within the space of time that you do have, it should be within 1 or 2 months for most businesses where you need to find a way to actually bring money into the business.
Exactly.
Because if you don't do it at the beginning, then you may never do it.
It's like setting a goal and just go for it.
For sure. And executing is the most important skill that you could possibly learn when it comes to business.
Yep.
Because the reality is, even when it comes to Uber,
before
Uber came, there was Magic Cars, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And Magic Cars was 3 years before that. But because they didn't execute, they became at a stage where they did not do absolutely anything anywhere near to what Uber was able to actually accomplish. So, and then for their execution is key. And it all starts by, like you said, setting that first goal and accomplishing that goal.
Literally. No, sorry, I'm just noting this down because this is keys. Like, even I'm learning. You should see everything. The moment you wake up, you need to think, what am I going to learn today? And how would I learn? And I feel like everyone I meet, someone told me this ages ago. Like, I think it was Chris Jellev from the Millennial Club. If you guys don't know about the Millennial Club, type in TMC Millennial or the Millennial Club on Insta. I'll put it on linked below because I feel like I'm getting it wrong. So Chris Jellev said, like, from the very first point I met with people in business or grown up, I think he was told by someone else. I'm not sure if it was his mom or someone else, but the key was so massive. They said every person you meet, you can learn something from, whether it's good or bad.
For sure.
And that's so important.
100%. And we're always learning. And that's why a lot of the time I'll go to an event or I'll go somewhere and people will be like, well, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to get something from us, or do you want something in return? What's the reason why you're actually here? And the reality is, I feel like it doesn't matter where any person is in their life, what journey they're part of. Yeah. We can learn from absolutely everyone.
Anyone.
And it could be...
overlook nobody.
For sure.
Anything could be a learning curve factor in any conversation. Even if it's walking down the road, in Tesco, in the library, in a seminar, workshop, on the plane. I have the most intellectual conversations when I'm 1,000 miles or meters up in the sky.
For sure.
Just about to take off, boom, 6-7 hours, going to Africa, going to Europe, on the plane with a stranger that I've never met in my life.
100%.
And they're talking about life, they're talking about business, and they're talking about making moves.
Definitely.
So it just like goes back to the chess aspect. You're moving forward in order to combat anything that gets in your way. And once you have that competitive mindset, you will always find solutions.
Definitely.
So that's why I like chess. And that's why in anything I do, I would like to conquer and checkmate.
100%.
So Rizwan, how was it? What's your educational background?
So I went as far as uni, got a 2-1. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't really learn much in uni.
Yeah.
I learned a lot in the sense where I understand how I am with deadlines. I know that if there's a deadline, I normally do stuff the night before.
Okay.
If I really need to get something done, I can drink 4 Red Bulls through the night and get stuff done. But the reality is there's not really much I learned because of the fact that I did a business degree.
Yeah.
And everything that they're talking about is from 100 years ago.
Okay.
And it's not really relevant. Okay. Because the age that we're living in now is changing every 5 to 10 years. Everything's completely changed.
Especially in the sector of graphic design, 100%. Creativity.
100%.
You can't cap creativity. And most of the lecturers teaching in uni, talking about graphic design, web development, marketing, digital marketing, they're like 40, 50 plus. And in that field, it's changing rapidly before our eyes.
For sure. 100%.
Literally. So once they're teaching you what they've learned and what they know, but you can go out there, boom, quick internet search, Google, and find anything and learn anything you need.
Definitely.
So with like some subjects, like becoming a doctor, nurse, lawyer, it's needed, and it's really important. Education is really important.
For sure.
Whether you go to uni or whether you go to college, secondary school. Education is so fundamental to the
100%.
building blocks of our future.
And that's why I truly believe that, although you mentioned in terms of how far did I go in my education, like
Yeah.
I'm still learning every day. So like I go through like a book as a minimum every 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
I've completed a book.
Yes, sir.
And that's through Audible. So through Audible, I'm just able to listen to it on the way to work, on the way back. And yes, you might be able to argue the fact that it's better to actually read.
Yeah.
It is, in my opinion, it is actually better to read it rather than actually listen to it.
Yeah.
But you'd rather get the gems while you're driving than not get no gems at all.
Exactly. Like, you rather listen to something, gain knowledge when you're driving. But yeah, instead of listening to music all the time, bang on a podcast or audiobook and learn. Learn.
Bang
I've
on this
heard about-
podcast, guys. Podcast.
Learn through here, because we've gone through this. It's like someone spoke about, I can't remember the name. Someone spoke about switching, listening to music all the time on their daily commutes, 1 hour to work, 1 hour back, and they decided, cool, I'm gonna stop listening to music, and the time I have, this 1 hour, I'm gonna learn a new language. So they studied French. Français. And yeah, they studied French, and it took them about 6 months to get to the point where they can go to France and buy a baguette. Yes, oui. So he went to France, and so really confident in what he'd learnt for the past 6 months to converse with the people of France, for whether it's retail, buying something on the menu. He was so comfortable going there and speaking to them like he's a local. And that's what you can get from executing something, setting yourself out to do it and accomplishing that goal, no matter how long it takes. So, Rizwan, tell us a bit more about execution, because you know a lot about that. If all the 17 people you've worked with so far, the importance of execution in business and how it depicts the future for
Definitely. So I feel like there's quite a few different steps that you need to go down to actually execute properly. And as much as knowing the knowledge is key, implementing the knowledge is way more important. And so when I say this, what I mean is that first, obviously, you're going to write down your goals, because the reason why I say write it down rather than just think about what the goal might actually be is because there's so many studies. So in Virginia, they say nine times out of 10, so 90% more likely that you're actually going to actually be more successful if you write down your goals. In the 1900s, there was 2 studies, and both of them said at least 12% more likely to actually get your work done if you actually write down your goals. So first of all, you got to write it down. Secondly, you got to be resilient. And what do I mean by resilience? I mean, rather than just thinking this could go wrong or this could go wrong, you actually write down everything that you can think of that might actually go wrong with what you're going to do. Yes, sure, it can potentially throw you off. But by you writing it down and thinking, okay, if that happens, the worst case scenario is this, you'll carry on anyway. And I don't know if it's the same with you, Mehdi, but every test I've ever taken, there's always been a curveball question.
Literally.
And the same way in life. No matter what you decide to do, no matter what your goals might be that you want to execute on, there's going to be a curveball. But if you write that down at the same time as you write down everything else that could potentially go wrong, you'll be prepared for it. And when you read books and you actually listen to audios and listen to podcasts of certain topics like don't sweat the small stuff, you realize that no matter how big something might actually be, you're able to actually just think, okay, this is one thing that's happened. What can I do from this? What can I do? And that's it. You act from what you can do, and you let the rest take care of itself.
Exactly. And literally just start. You've got an idea, just write it down on paper.
100%.
And write down the blueprint and what it takes for you to actually achieve that goal. There's no point just thinking about it. Thinking won't get you nowhere. Just thinking about the gym won't get you hench.
For sure.
Just running around. Well, just thinking about running. All you're going to do is run out of conclusions or run to conclusions and all that. Or you know what I mean? Just running in your own head. You're not going to lose weight. You're not going to build cardio.
For sure.
And that comes down to business as well. If you think about, I'm going to get rich, I'm going to become self-taught entrepreneur, tech entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, property investor, you're not going to achieve all of that just by thinking.
For sure.
So execution is key when it comes to business.
100%. And especially when it comes to small businesses and people who think of ideas, the amount of people that I know who have written down an idea or written out what they think is a business plan over 6 months, 1 year, etc. And they realize afterwards that it's either too late because someone else has already done it,
Yeah.
which it's never too late because
It's
you might be able to
never too
execute
late.
better.
Yeah.
But even more important than that, just realize that there's always, unless it's an app or something that actually costs a lot of money to create,
In
there's
business-
always an easier way
Yeah.
to be able to do it
Yeah.
and in quicker.
In business, I always think there could only be one winner. Like, it doesn't mean if I lose, I'll stop. You strive to be the best, but not the biggest. If you
sure.
find solutions, find different ways of outwitting your competitor, you're always going to win.
For sure.
And if you're ready for the hiccups down the line or something blocks the passage, you just go around it.
For sure.
So once you see, like, for example, you're in the World Cup finals, your competitor is bigger than you, more stronger, athletically fit, had more better training, better coach, whatever. You're not gonna stay in the changing rooms thinking, like, what we're gonna do, all of that. You're gonna go heads on, and by using technique and perseverance and time, you're most likely gonna win.
For sure.
But if you think about, I'm gonna lift a trophy, what's thoughts gonna do for you? And that leads to overthinking. And we're gonna talk about that in different episodes. But overthinking is really, really bad.
For sure.
You're just overthinking the same things all over again that might not even exist. Or if it's not, the way I see it, if I don't have control over it, I don't even spend 2 seconds thinking about it.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, me pondering is not going to do nothing. So, and if you're overthinking, you've got a problem with overthinking, it's completely normal, happens to the most of us. But just take time, breathe,
For sure.
and reassess the situation.
And hit me up if it's to do with business, because you never ever know if it's impossible in the short term
Yeah,
until you've explored every single option.
literally. Wow. Rizwan Dookanwala, Advanced CEO. One more time. I'm having fun with it.
Clearly.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop you fucking lying.
Lot that say, I'm going to start a business, and don't do jack shit. So you need to pull up your pants, start being a mama's boy or mama's girl, and get down to the grit and do what you set out to do. Because all this wasting time is going to get you nowhere. Write down your plans just before 2020. This might come out after 2020. I'm not sure yet. I've got a lot doing at the moment. But just write down your plans and execute anything that you've got down on that paper.
For sure.
Don't let anything get in your way, whether it's friends, spouse. By the end of this, it's going to benefit everyone. So on that note, thank you so much, Rizwan Dookanwala.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was a pleasure. And we'll definitely be seeing you more on our podcast. You're always welcome.
Appreciate
And
it.
where could they find you on anywhere, social media?
So on Instagram, advnc.rd. I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel soon. My podcast is going to be, the first episode is goal setting. I'm just waiting for a couple of weeks. So in the next couple of weeks, it should be up. Depending on when this gets released. So we got a lot to do. At the same time, I want to help as many small businesses as possible to grow and solidify their growth within the actual market. So hit me up. Continue watching this podcast, because Mehdi, he's a legend. He's going far.
Thank you
And
so
he's
much,
not someone
brother.
who just talks. He's someone who does. So
Appreciate it.
be just like Mehdi, execute, and the rest will take care of itself.